Men, you don't need to spend thousands on a private investigator to find out the truth. The cold reality is, a private detective often looks for the same signs and trails that you, as her partner, are in the perfect position to discover on your own. You have access to her routine, her habits, and her behavior in a way no one else does. With a few genius methods, you can catch a cheating wife and find the answers you need, without ever needing to leave your home or open your wallet for a stranger. Today, I'll reveal 10 genius methods to catch a cheating wife without hiring a detective. These are not about being paranoid. They are about being observant, strategic, and calm. The truth has a way of revealing itself to those who are patient enough to look for it. Before we begin, hit that subscribe button and drop a comment if you've ever tried one of these. It could help another man navigate this painful and confusing situation. Method 1. Check her phone behavior. A cheating wife's phone is her most valuable tool and, paradoxically, her greatest weakness. It's where she communicates, schedules, and stores the secrets of her double life. Your first step is to become a student of her phone behavior, not just the content on the phone itself. A guilty person's relationship with their phone is fundamentally different from an innocent person's. The guilty grip on her phone. Observe how she handles her phone when you are in the same room. Does she take it with her everywhere, even to the bathroom or out to the car for a quick moment? Does she place it face down on the table when you are together? Does she immediately clear her notifications or close her apps when she is done using it? These behaviors are all signs of a person who is guarding a secret. She is terrified that you will see a notification pop up or that you'll grab her phone and see her last conversation. This constant vigilance is a dead giveaway. An innocent person leaves their phone lying around, but a guilty person's phone is a lifeline that must be protected at all times. Hidden apps and disappearing messages. Many cheaters use sophisticated apps to hide their communication. These apps can be disguised with an innocent icon, such as a calculator or a note-taking app. When you open it, it looks like a normal app, but when a specific code or password is entered, it reveals a hidden chat log, photo gallery, or contact list. You can spot these by paying attention to her app downloads, or by noticing an app with a generic-looking icon that you can't remember her having. Another major red flag is the use of messaging apps with disappearing message features, such as Signal or Telegram. While these apps have legitimate uses, a sudden and exclusive reliance on them for communication is a clear sign she is trying to erase her digital trail. Renamed contacts. A cheating wife will often rename the contact of the person she's having an affair with to make it appear innocent. Mark might become plumber, Jane from work, or even mom. She does this so that if you ever glance at her phone, you'll see a familiar-looking name and think nothing of it. The key is to notice if she receives frequent calls or texts from a number with a generic-sounding name. The volume and timing of these communications will be a major giveaway. Pay attention to how often her phone dings with a message from Bob the plumber on a Saturday night. It's an easy and clever deception that can be unraveled with simple observation. Method 2. Track her social media footprints. Social media is a modern-day treasure trove of clues. An affair always leaves traces online, even if a cheater is being careful. The goal is to look for the things she has tried to erase, not just what she posts. Sudden unfollows and deleted photos. If she has been cheating with someone in her social circle, she might suddenly unfollow that person on social media to avoid a connection. She might also start deleting old photos of the two of you, especially from trips or events where she might have been with him. A sudden and inexplicable purge of old memories from her profile is a major red flag that she is trying to rewrite her history and create distance from her relationship with you. A woman who is in a happy relationship doesn't suddenly go through her past and delete her happy memories with you. Hidden accounts or profile changes. Many cheaters will create a separate fake social media account to communicate with their partner in a way that is not traceable. The account might be under a different name, with no friends you know. If you are suspicious, you can search for her by an email address or a phone number that you know she doesn't use for her public profile. A cheating wife will also often change her profile to make it look like she is not in a relationship, removing "in a relationship with" or making her profile picture of herself only. Changes in post frequency or content. A cheater might suddenly post a lot less on social media, as she's no longer interested in documenting her life with you. Or she might post more often, but with a different style or tone. She might post a lot of new selfies or pictures of herself in new clothes or at new locations. These posts are not for you, they are for her other partner. The content of her posts will shift to reflect her new life, with pictures of herself alone, or with new friends you have never met. Method 3. Pay attention to her schedule changes. A cheating wife's biggest challenge is time. An affair requires a massive reorganization of her daily life and schedule, which creates a pattern of lies and inconsistencies that you can easily spot if you are paying attention. Random late nights and vague excuses. The most classic sign of a cheating wife is a sudden increase in late nights at work, with friends, or with a new hobby. The key is that the excuses will be vague and impossible to verify. "I had a meeting with a new client. My boss and I had to work late," or "we were just talking and lost track of time." She will also start to get home later for no apparent reason, or she will tell you that she's going somewhere, but her story about what she did will not match the time she spent. A normal late night is followed by a tired morning, but a late night with a new partner is often followed by a renewed sense of energy and happiness, new friends and last-minute plans. A cheating wife will often say she is spending time with a new friend you've never met before. The friend is often the other man's alibi or a fake person entirely. She will also become agitated and annoyed if you try to make spontaneous plans with her. An innocent person would be happy to see you, but a cheater will panic because any last-minute plan could disrupt her carefully arranged schedule and expose her lies. Her discomfort with any disruption to her carefully planned schedule is a major red flag. Changes in her daily routine. Does she suddenly start taking a different route to work? Does she suddenly have a new errand that takes her longer to run? Does she suddenly have a new routine after work that she didn't have before? These changes are not about convenience. They are about her creating free time to be with someone else. A sudden change in routine is a major sign that she is accommodating a new, secret life. Method 4. Monitor financial activity. An affair is a costly endeavor. It requires money for gifts, secret dinners, drinks, hotel rooms, and gas to drive to and from clandestine meetings. And money always leaves a trail. By monitoring her spending habits, you can often find the evidence she tried to hide. It's a strategy that relies on cold, hard facts. Receipts for hotels and restaurants. The first place to look is her credit card statement. Are there unexplained charges from a restaurant you've never been to, especially on a night she said she was working late? Are there charges from a hotel that she never mentioned? A trip to an ATM for a large cash withdrawal can also be a major red flag. Why did she need so much cash? She may have used it to pay for things she didn't want a paper trail for, like a gift or a short-term hotel room. Unexplained spending and hidden accounts. You should also pay attention to her spending habits in general. Is she suddenly spending more money on her own, or is she using cash more often to avoid a paper trail? A cheater might open a separate bank account or credit card to pay for her affair, as she knows you won't be checking that account. You should also pay attention to her physical receipts. Is there a receipt for a man's coffee, a movie ticket for two, or a purchase from a store that only he would frequent? She might leave these in her car, her purse, or even in the pockets of her jacket, assuming you'll never look. An affair is a costly endeavor, and the financial evidence is a powerful way to expose it. Method 5. Test her with simple questions. One of a cheater's biggest weaknesses is her memory. A liar can't perfectly remember every single detail of a made-up story, especially not over time. They can remember the main plot points. I was at work, I was with a friend, but they can't recall the specifics of a conversation they never had or the layout of a restaurant they never visited. This is your advantage. The goal here is to ask the same question days or even weeks apart to see if her story changes. The casual question. Ask her a simple casual question about a recent event. What was the name of that movie you and your friend saw last weekend? She will give you an answer. A few days later, bring it up again casually, but from a different angle. You know, I was just thinking about that movie you told me about from last weekend. Was it as good as you thought it would be? If she was with another person, she might change her answer or give you a different one. This strategy works because it forces her to retrieve a made-up memory, and those memories are notoriously unreliable, causing her to contradict herself and give herself away. The specific detail test. Another way to use this is to bring up a small detail that she might have forgotten. You said you went to the gym last night. Did you see Sarah there? She said she was going. If she was not at the gym, she will have to either admit she wasn't there or make up a clumsy lie on the spot. A truthful person would answer easily, without a hint of hesitation or anger. A cheater, however, will stumble, get defensive, or give an answer that sounds like a clumsy guess. This strategy is about removing her psychological safety net and making her perform under pressure, where the cracks in her story will inevitably show. Method 6. Notice her body language. The human body is an honest messenger. A liar might be able to control her words and her story, but she cannot control her body. When you confront a cheating wife, her body language will reveal what her words are desperately trying to hide. This strategy is about becoming a student of nonverbal communication and understanding the subtle but undeniable signals of guilt, fear, and deception. Avoiding eye contact. When you ask a difficult question, watch her eyes. Does she avoid eye contact? Does she look down, to the side, or suddenly become very interested in something in the room? This is a sign of discomfort and a desire to avoid being seen. A truthful person will look you in the eye. A liar will not. Nervous gestures and forced smiles. Look at her hands. Is she fidgeting? Does she play with her hair, touch her face, or rub her neck? These are classic signs of anxiety and stress. Is her smile genuine, or is it a fake smile that doesn't reach her eyes? A liar's smile is often forced and appears only on her lips. You should also watch her posture. Does she cross her arms or turn her body away from you? This is a subconscious desire to create a physical barrier between you and her, a way of protecting herself from your scrutiny. By observing these nonverbal cues, you can often see the truth written on her body, even if she is still trying to lie with her words. The body reveals what the mind tries so desperately to hide. Method 7. Look for changes in emotional behavior. An affair is not just a physical act. It's a deep emotional betrayal that creates a shift in her feelings toward you. A cheating wife's heart is already invested somewhere else, and this will be reflected in her behavior. This method is about observing the subtle but profound changes in her emotional state. Less affection and emotional distance. A cheating wife will often become emotionally distant. She will stop initiating small touches or hugs, and she will become less affectionate. She might even become irritable and angry for no reason, as she is frustrated with her situation and her feelings of guilt. She may even try to pick fights with you, as a way to create an emotional distance that justifies her actions. This emotional chasm is a powerful sign that her heart is no longer with you. Random guilt-driven sweetness. On the other hand, some cheaters do the exact opposite. They might become overly affectionate as a way to overcompensate for their guilt. They might suddenly want to have more sex, or shower you with kisses and compliments to try to convince themselves, and you, that nothing is wrong. The key is to look for a sudden and drastic change in her behavior. A liar's body will often betray her emotional state, as physical intimacy with you becomes a painful reminder of her divided loyalty. These emotional changes are the most painful to witness, but they are also the most powerful evidence that something is wrong. Method 8. The unplanned test. This is a high-risk, high-reward strategy that can force a cheater to expose herself. A controlled trap is a deliberate lie you tell her to see how she reacts. The goal is to drop a fake hint or a story that, if she is cheating, will cause her to panic and reveal something. The key is to create a situation where a guilty person will instinctively react to protect their secret, while an innocent person would have no reaction at all. For example, you could say, I ran into a friend of mine from college the other day, and he said he saw you at the new coffee shop downtown on Friday. If she wasn't there, she would simply say, "That's weird, I wasn't there." But if she was, and she was there with another man, she might get flustered and ask, "What did he say?" Or, "What was I doing there?" Her sudden interest and nervousness are huge red flags. Another example is to create a fake event that would conflict with her alibi. "My boss just invited us to a special dinner on Saturday night at that new restaurant, so we have to cancel your plans with your friends." If her plans with her friends are actually a secret date with another man, she will likely become anxious, angry, or try to get out of the fake dinner. Her immediate emotional reaction to your trap will give you the answer you are looking for. Method 9. Observe changes in her routine. An affair requires a cheater to completely reorganize her life, and these changes leave a trail. A cheating wife has to manage 2 separate lives and 2 schedules, which creates subtle but noticeable changes in her daily routine. This strategy relies on you noticing the small, out-of-place details that don't align with her normal habits. First, pay attention to her phone habits. Does she suddenly start bringing her phone everywhere she goes, even to the bathroom or the shower? Does she place it face down on the table when you are together? This is a clear sign that she is hiding something on her phone and doesn't want you to see her notifications. Second, observe her personal appearance. Is she suddenly obsessed with her appearance, wearing new clothes, new perfume, or new lingerie that you've never seen before? These changes are not for you. They are for her other partner. Third, watch for a change in her daily schedule. Does she suddenly start taking a different route to work? Does she stay out later for errands or gym time? Does she get upset if you surprise her with an unplanned date or a visit to her office? A guilty person is terrified of spontaneity, as it could easily expose a lie. Her discomfort with any disruption to her carefully planned schedule is a major red flag. Her routine is her security blanket, and any change in it is a sign that she is accommodating a new, secret life. It's important to remember that these strategies are not about being sneaky. They are about finding the truth. The goal is not to catch her in a lie, but to get a clear picture of what's happening. The evidence is often hidden in plain sight, disguised by her words and her behavior. By using these methods, you can begin to see past the mask of normalcy and find the clarity you deserve.